Hello and welcome back to The Art of Reflection, the show where we unravel the big ideas that have shaped the way we see the world and ourselves. Today we're diving deeply into Friedrich Nietzsche's profound critique of nihilism and relativism, two central concepts that illuminate his diagnosis of the modern condition and its crises of meaning, truth, and values. Nietzsche's engagement with nihilism was not abstract or distant. It was deeply urgent and personal. He saw nihilism as the shadow cast by the death of God, his famous metaphor for the collapse of traditional religious and metaphysical foundations that once provided meaning and purpose in Western culture. This collapse left modern society facing a profound crisis, the realization that life might lack inherent meaning or objective value. But Nietzsche didn't stop there. He recognized nihilism as both a danger and an opportunity, a stage in history where old values must be questioned and, ultimately, overcome. Alongside nihilism, Nietzsche introduced Perspectivism, a revolutionary idea about truth and knowledge as inherently tied to individual perspectives, challenging the very notion of absolute objective truth. Together, these themes form a critical lens to examine our contemporary world, and by exploring them deeply, we can better understand the challenges we face today and maybe find a path forward. What is nihilism? Nihilism, at its core, is the belief that life lacks objective meaning, purpose, or intrinsic value. It's a philosophical condition marked by despair or skepticism toward traditional beliefs that once grounded our existence. As we discussed last week, Nietzsche famously declared that God is dead, not as a celebration, but as a stark observation of modernity's secularization and scientific advances that undermined religious worldviews. With the decline of Christianity's unchallenged moral order, the old pillars of meaning crumbled, leaving a void. Nietzsche distinguished between two responses to this void: passive nihilism, a state of resignation where individuals withdraw into boredom, apathy, or despair, seeing life as meaningless. This is a form of spiritual sickness or decay. And active nihilism, a more dynamic, tough, destructive force that shatters old values and beliefs to clear the ground for new creations. To make this distinction a little bit clearer, we can just see to our modern life. Consider the widespread phenomenon of binge scrolling on social media. Many people find themselves endlessly consuming content, not because it enriches their lives, but because it distracts them from feelings of emptiness or existential uncertainty. This compulsive behavior can be seen as a symptom of passive nihilism, where superficial stimulation temporarily masks a deeper lack of meaning. In contrast, certain radical political or cultural movements may reject established norms and moralities without offering constructive alternatives. This rejection, while forceful, often lacks a creative vision, reflecting active nihilism's destructive edge. Nietzsche's challenge was to move beyond nihilism altogether, to refuse despair and instead revalue values, forging new ways to affirm life's worth. Relativism and Perspectivism, the fluidity of truth. What is relativism? Relativism is the idea that truth and moral values are not absolute, but vary depending on perspective, culture, or context. It challenges the notion of universal truths. And Nietzsche's Perspectivism is a nuanced form of relativism. He argued that all knowledge and truth claims arise from particular perspectives influenced by individual, cultural, and historical conditions. There's no view from nowhere. While nihilism denies meaning or value, relativism emphasizes plurality and contingency of truth. Nietzsche warned against simplistic or cynical relativism that leads to moral paralysis or skepticism, but he embraced perspectivism as a way to overcome dogmatic absolutism. Both ideas ring true to this day. Just look at echo chambers on social media. They create fragmented realities where different groups hold incompatible truths. This shows how truth can become relative and contested. The proliferation of fake news and misinformation highlights how fragile trust in objective facts can become. Scientific knowledge, although provisional and revisable, remains our best approach to truth, but it too is interpreted through human perspectives. Moral values vary widely across cultures and epochs. Nietzsche viewed this as an opportunity to question inherited morals and invent new, life-affirming values instead of blindly following traditional ones. The dual challenge: nihilism and relativism in modernity. Nihilism exposes the collapse of inherited values and certainties. Relativism, through perspectivism, offers a framework to navigate this collapse, promoting openness to diverse views while avoiding despair or cynical skepticism. Nietzsche's vision was active creation, to overcome nihilism by inventing new values grounded in life affirmation and authenticity. Modernity promised liberation through reason, science, and progress, but Nietzsche saw it fostering mediocrity, complacency, and spiritual exhaustion. He warned against the rise of the last man, a figure embodying comfort, risk aversion, and superficial contentment. The last man avoids challenge or passion, choosing easy pleasure and unreflective existence. The compulsive consumption of entertainment in today's world, endless binge-watching or social media scrolling, provides instant gratification but dulls the capacity for deep thought or genuine fulfillment. Consumer culture promotes distraction and accumulation of goods, masking an inner void. Modern bureaucracies and mass culture often suppress individuality and creativity, reinforcing passive nihilism. For the last portion of this podcast, I want to apply Nietzsche's critique to today's world. Nietzsche's insights into nihilism and relativism resonate powerfully in today's digital and globalized world. We face a deluge of information and competing narratives. Social media platforms algorithmically tailor content, reinforcing personal biases and creating echo chambers. This fragmentation exemplifies Nietzsche's perspectivism, but also fuels social division and mistrust. The endless scroll of apps like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube can be a form of passive nihilism, offering distraction from existential anxieties or boredom, but ultimately eroding our ability to find meaning. Nietzsche's perspectivism helps explain why multiple truths coexist, but rigidly held perspectives can harden into ideological echo chambers, making dialogue difficult. The decline of traditional institutions leaves many searching for new sources of meaning, but without shared framework, the search can lead to confusion or nihilism. Nietzsche's warning about the last man manifests in consumerism, wellness culture, and risk avoidance. These trends emphasize convenience and instant gratification, sometimes masking deeper avoidance or life challenges. Despite challenges, Nietzsche offers a hopeful path forward. Nihilism is painful but necessary to dismantle false values, so we should embrace the crisis. Accept the partiality of your views, engage with others' perspectives, and resist rigid dogmatism. So you should practice perspectivism. Create new values. Be an artist of life, crafting values that affirm existence and authenticity. Face hardship as growth opportunities, embracing life's complexity instead of seeking easy answers. Move beyond passive escapism to cultivate reflection, learning, and purposeful action, embodying Nietzsche's ideal of the Übermensch who creates meaning amid chaos. Lastly, I want you to reflect. How do your daily habits reflect passive or active nihilism? In what ways might you practice perspectivism, embracing multiple viewpoints? What inherited values might you question or revalue to live more authentically? Nietzsche's critique of nihilism and relativism challenges us not only to confront uncomfortable truths about modern life, but to seize the opportunity to become creators of meaning, architects of new values, and courageous explorers of life's complexity. Until next time, keep questioning, keep reflecting, and stay curious.